All right, let me lower this real quick before I blow your eardrums out. That's right, that's right. Hey, Allan Aguirre with your Incorruptible 2-minute warning. We are in 1 Peter chapter 2, verses 18 through 25. We're talking about kings and priests. Week 5, we're walking through the 2 books or the 2 letters of Peter. He's writing to Jews that have been dispersed, that are living out and about among the Gentiles. They've been persecuted. It's no bueno, but they still have to deal. Servants. That's right. People had servants back then. Be subject to your masters with all respect, not only to the good and gentle, but also to the unjust. For this is a gracious thing when, mindful of God, one endures sorrows while suffering unjustly. For what credit is it if, when you sin and are beaten for it, you endure? But if when you do good and suffer for it, you endure. This is a gracious thing in the sight of God. All right, so they're going to take servitude, being a slave, masters, servants, and if they mistreat you, you need to suck it up. And then he's using the whole Jesus doing the same thing, right? Remember, rarely for a righteous man would one die, but for an unrighteous man, right? And then Jesus died for the ungodly. For to this you have been called, because Christ, or Messiah, also suffered for you, leaving you an example so that you might follow in his steps. We're supposed to do good to those that despitefully use us. All these different various concepts and ideals and principles should be rushing to your mind as I read this. Messiah, he committed no sin, neither was deceit found in his mouth. Verse 23, when he was reviled, he did not revile in return. He opened not his mouth, and not like a lamb to the slaughter, right? When he suffered, he did not threaten, but continued entrusting himself to him who judges justly. Verse 24, he himself bore our sins in his body on the tree, that he might die to sin and live to righteousness. By his wounds you have been healed, Isaiah. For you were straying like sheep, but have now returned to the shepherd and overseer of your souls.
The views and opinions expressed during our broadcasts are solely those of the broadcast producers, hosts, and/or guests, etc., and are not necessarily the views or opinions of the Travelog Network, its sponsors, or affiliates.